Hi folks, in this video I'm going to introduce myself, my IT skills and my IT experience. I'm not going to explain exactly what I'm doing here because many mid or senior software engineers or DevOps engineers going to recognize my terminal moves. Now I'm working actually interactively with Docker and Kubernetes to run some microservices I've developed a few years ago for some educational or let's say demo purposes. The main intention of this video is to introduce myself while I work, so you can see, for example, how I get things done. Of course, many things around Kubernetes and Docker are actually automated in the continuous integration and continuous development pipeline, but you still have to know many moves to debug stuff, do some troubleshoots, etc., etc. And one important thing, I must be honest with you, even if I did these terminal moves so often, it's pretty tough to talk and work at the same time, and I apologize for any mistakes along the way. I hope you will give me some credit here also if I stop talking from time to time to, like now, to focus on my terminal moves while doing this video. Okay. Anyway, in a few seconds I'm going to hide myself so you can get a better look at the screen. I think it's a bit hard to see my terminal moves right now. I'm afraid of it that at the moment it isn't such a clear view, so it will be the best if I hide myself. And right now I'm spinning up some interactive Kubernetes and Docker infrastructure and running some strict-typed object-oriented code using PHP 8, which actually isn't my main language, but I want to show the proper way for some PHP coders out there who are still writing procedural and weak-typed code, like in the PHP 3 or PHP 5 era for 15 years ago. Instead of taking the full advantage of functional and object-oriented paradigms and strict typing in PHP 8. So additionally I was showing the microservice architecture. Just a moment please. Microservice architecture anti-pattern shared monoliths, which was a threat for many software engineers and DevOps who were starting to learn how to develop and run proper microservice architectures. This is important, especially these days. Okay, sorry for my pause. Okay, especially these days, it is important, especially these days, if you develop your own AI application and services, then you have to change your monolithic mindset completely to microservices. I'm using, like you see here, tmux with a splitted view. Top panes are for kubectl logs and tracing pods. The heavy lifting happens in the bottom pane, building Docker images, pushing them to the registry, deploying them into Kubernetes infrastructure using the kubectl in the terminal and so on, command line. I'm showing the microservice file structure from basic DAO DTO setups, which is actually wrong, to the real-world microservice architecture and so on, and later I will point out a typical PHP mistake I keep finding in some legacy code, but just if I have time. So let me introduce myself. My name is Denis. I'm a long-term, almost 20 years IT professional, moving between full-stack software engineering and DevOps, pretty much the security topics of it, like implementing zero trust, role-based access control, policy-based access control, and so on and so on. In my career, I was, I was focused on the implementation of identity and access management, single sign-on and multi-factor authentication. For example, I programmed a custom client for secure backchain and logout using the OpenID Connect protocol to replacing legacy SAML, which means security markup language setups, dealing with encrypting SHA-256, basics for encodings for URLs, job tokens, etc., etc. I was replacing hard-coded access control lists with open policy agent services and Rego files, implementing zero trust by moving away from network-based trust to identity-based security through IAM and OPA services and full observability using metrics, log aggregations, tracing to alert anomalies, etc., etc. I worked in several areas like financial tech or improving learning management system or big data and so on. I never had the option to stay in a small niche, even if I preferred backend. But what has to be done has to be done. So I was a software engineer, and when I was, or if I was a software engineer, I was mostly a full stack engineer, developing front-end and backend, especially in one of the projects. I programmed also in several languages, but here is one important rule. If you start with the heavy higher programming languages like C and Java, afterwards you have no trouble switching to other dynamic languages like Python, for example. And I like Python because if it's syntax sugar, like I like also Golang, which is the so-called C language for the web. So I don't underrating anything here, just to make it clear. Now you see in the terminal that I write some bad code rows in PHP, and I'm gonna everything gonna be written in the commands and all my explanations why I'm doing this and what is the better way and so on. And I have to apologize if I make some grammars again. Please understand me that I try to do my stuff here and to talk at the same time, which is really heavy for me. But now you have to read just the commands, and then you're going to understand what I'm actually doing here. And now I'm going to go on with my introduction, or to introduce myself. I'm a Linux geek. I'm spending most of my time in the terminal during my troubleshoots or debugging stuff, even using some IT forensic terminal tools like Xmount or System Trace, means trace actually if necessary, and so on. And in the last few years, AI engineering, artificial intelligence engineering tests landed on my plate too, which is just the way it is in the IT. You are following the IT evolution. For example, earlier I used JavaScript DOM, now I use JavaScript frameworks like React or SPA frameworks. Earlier I developed or extended monoliths, now I'm into microservices. So that's the way it is. Speaking of AI, I was setting up internal AI servers like Olama for data privacy and building or developing API clients using the RAG technology, preparing automated paint tests on their AI infrastructure, and etc. etc. I was also integrating AI-based developer tools like Copilot, where I have learned that AI makes mistakes and juniors fall into the trap implementing bad code generated from the AI. And I see that some tests like unit tests or automated paint tests against AI-generated code are more important than ever to catch vulnerabilities, for example, early enough. Of course, even with my experience switching between roles or different layers, like moving from backend to frontend, still needs some time to dive back in. But it happens fast, it's just a part of the job. At least experience is gold. One example is for 2 years, I fixed the bug in 2.5 days, where other 3 guys stuck for over 5 weeks. No AI or documentation could help here. It was just intuition from 20 years of experience, but it was really a nasty one. A nasty bug, simple and at the same time a really nasty one, so it wasn't really easy to understand what happens actually. The most important thing is that fix saved a long-term important client for that company, for example. So, okay, I would say that's it. I'm done here. I hope you enjoyed watching what's happening under the hood. And here I have prepared an PHP example. And you have every explanations in the commands. I will start typing the wrong way and then the better way and so on, and then I switch to the example here. And if you read the commands, you will understand about what it is. It is really a simple case. The Java programmers and developers know it very well. You should use, for example, value objects or setters or data transfer objects or entities to pass your values, and not just pass your values directly into to some variables. You should use the strict typing in declaring your variables and so on, and that's really important, and everything is explained here. For example, if you have a bug, you have to go just to your setter and to fix the bug, and then the bug is here it is. If a bug is here, fix it once and the whole system is fixed, for example. So now I'm done, and I like I said, thank you for watching. Bye.